Yo, what's up, guys? You got II here today, once again with Illusion.
What's up, guys? It's Illusion back after surviving an assassination attempt from the other team. I almost didn't make it out, but now I'm fine. Unfortunately, it interrupted our last video, but I took him out and we're good to go now.
Well said, well said. So today we're playing the Fini Phire, and as you can see, they brought Inte, Klefki, Donphan, Tapu Fini, Megalopony, and Dragonite. And we over here have brought Necrozma, Tapu Koko, Mega Heracross, Hydreigon, Snorlax, and Metagross. Now, if you remember from...
So
Oh, you can go.
we're happy to see no Xurkitree and Celebi. Xurkitree in the using Coco's electric terrain could be a huge threat. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we can take it on, but it could still wall break our entire team.
And as you can see, we didn't bring Gligar, so we had no Volt Switch immunity. Xurkitree would have been a huge threat for us to have to face and deal with.
And
So,
no Celebi, which is bulky and all it's hard for us to break through Celebi.
yeah, exactly. So, if you can recall from our team builder, we decided to always lead with Mega Heracross no matter what they brought, and that is exactly what we do. So we lead with Achilles, and they lead Donphan, and we're thinking, well, this is awesome. We can just get off a free bullet seed, or free hit
We
versus anything they want to bring in if they decide to do that. So we go for the bullet seed as they go into Klefki. They probably predicted that, and we do clean damage to it. And this kind of reveals to us that they might be an offensive variant. Bullet seed did more than it should have, as they reveal the HP flying, and they crit us.
Crit sucks
Yeah.
really bad. We would have been at a respectable amount of HP if it didn't crit. We would have been able to switch into Donphan's hit and fire off a huge hit.
Yeah.
But because they crit this HP flying, Mega Heracross is basically staff fodder. But on the bright side, we were pretty scared of Klefki spike stacking us, which is why we kind of wanted nothing on our team to be, free spikes for Klefki, and why we have Earthquake on our Necrozma. So Klefki being gone and no spikes being set up is a huge load off our shoulders.
Yeah, it opens up the door for us in terms of our other threats, as Illusion mentioned. We just go for close combat and get rid of that thing. Mega Heracross is kind of our suicide lead. And now here was interesting. They go for extreme speed, and if you recall from the team builder, we did not think they would bring extreme speed Dragonite. Um, yeah, they.
So this is like double valuable knowledge because we have knowledge of extreme speed, but another thing is since they didn't go for Dragon Claw or like something like even Earthquake, we know they're not Jolly because Jolly always outspeeds Heracross. Since they didn't feel safe on outspeeding us in case we brought max speed, they're probably adamant.
Yeah, exactly. And if they didn't, yeah, we were, like we said before, we're just pretty surprised they brought extreme speed if they are the Dragon Dance variant, which you'll soon see they are. So we go into Snorlax, and Snorlax can basically take any hit. We're Figgy Berry, if you remember, and we have Ice Punch.
So
So
we can curse up here. They can't Dragon Dance beat us 1v1 because Snorlax is hard body. And if they Z move us, we tank that up. We get our Figgy Berry back, and now we're at +1 defense.
exactly, exactly. So we go for return here, expecting them to taunt, and they're actually screens Tapu Fini. That was not something we expected. We thought, if anything, they'd be screens Klefki. But we go for another curse because we figure if they're screens, they're probably not taunt. And without taunt, they have a real tough time of beating down Snorlax. So we go for return here. Do considerable chunk to Tapu Fini. And they keep trying to Nature's Madness us. We can just keep recycling our Figgy Berry back up. Uh,
So as you can see, this Tapu Fini can't beat us 1v1, and eventually we're going to be able to get a +6 or kill this. And they should
exactly.
realize this and switch into Donphan.
Now, they made an excellent play of going into Donphan and knocking off. Because
So we weren't expecting the knockoff. I mean, it was a possibility, but we were kind of expecting things like Play Rough or Ice Shard. So knockoffs kind of not really caught us off guard, but now we're not unable to recycle our Figgy Berry, which sucks a lot. But he still has a +2 Snorlax in his face, and nothing on his team can kill it right now.
yeah, we thought that the knockoff bring was interesting because Donphan has this problem of only having 4 move slots. So normally they'd run something like Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and then maybe Earthquake. And we figured they might run Play Rough so Mega Heracross couldn't sub up on it. But they decided to run Knockoff. And even though they knocked off our Figgy Berry, we're still at a pretty high defense, so they cannot kill us with anything without sacking something. So they decided to go Tapu Fini, as we just decided to curse up again. At this point, we can take on Mega Lopunny fairly easy. And at this play, they had a choice to make. Do they go for the Reflect, or do they go for the Nature's Madness? They chose to go for the Nature's Madness, and they lost Tapu Fini by doing so.
So either option was kind of in our favor, because if they Reflect, they have a full health, +3 defense, +3 attack Snorlax in their face. And if they Nature Madness, they don't have Reflect up, so we can kill the next thing that comes in.
Yeah, like, we ate that high jump kick.
Yeah, and we kill Lopunny. They could have went into maybe Dragonite. I don't think their Z move even killed us.
With Dragonite?
So they had to sack something, yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, we also had another decision to make. Do we go into Hydreigon? Because Hydreigon is pretty much our Entei counter. It can take on any variant of Entei that they decide to bring. Or do we just let this die as fodder if we needed it to be? So ultimately, we just decided to let it die. We figured Snorlax wasn't doing anything anyway. And we didn't want to be caught off guard by maybe a subset or sub with Toxic, perhaps. Even though we had Taunt. But yeah, they go Donphan now. And we could have taunted here, but we figured that they might go for Play Rough, right?
I forgot, like, this is a mistake on my part. 100% they would have Earthquake, but in my head, they would have, like, they might go for a Play Rough here and kill Hydreigon. The correct play was to just taunt here, but we just Dark Pulse thinking that might as well go for the safe play and get damage off on it.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have expected Citrus Berry anyway, but yeah, we figured that they wouldn't go for Rocks here because looking at our team, Rocks does not do much versus us. Like, it just doesn't. So we figured they'd probably attack us with like Ice Shard or something like that.
Yeah, we figured they I was thinking that they wouldn't bring this in unless they had something that hit us. But in hindsight, Taunt was the better play.
Yeah. So now they decided to go Dragonite. Oh, another reason why we didn't reveal Taunt is because Dragonite was still around, right?
Yep.
So at this point, they might be thinking we're locked in because we've only shown Dark Pulse, I think. If we had gone for Taunt on Donphan, they might not have felt comfortable to Dragon Dance up this turn. So that worked out for us.
Yeah, it might have turned into a 50-50 of whether they Dragon move us or we taunt. So, but now we know for a fact they're going for Dragon Dance. Exactly. And that gives us a chance to break their multi-scale and taunt them, preventing them from Dragon Dancing.
So, this turn is unfortunate for us. Basically, what it revealed was that, well, the problem was it didn't reveal anything. So, Z Dragon Claw did not kill our set after Rocks, but Z Outrage did. This crit made it so we couldn't determine if they were Outrage or Dragon Claw, basically.
Outrage, if they're Outrage, that means we can kind of like know that they can't go for Outrage because then Coco kills it with Dazzling Gleam. They can't switch out. And so they can never really afford to go for Outrage. But if they're just Dragon Claw, they can, if they set up one Dragon Dance, they can just kill Hydreigon if we bring it in.
Exactly. And, yeah, you basically said it all. So now they're going to go Entei.
Yeah. We bring in Metagross instead of Coco because Thunderbolt didn't kill from that range, and Earthquake from base Dragonite didn't kill Metagross. So we're thinking we might as well bring Metagross in to hit Dragonite in case they stay in and try to hit us with Earthquake. And we have, if they go into Entei, we have a dedicated answer in Hydreigon, which can also taunt Dragonite and prevent it from setting up if they pull a double.
At this point in the match, we can afford to play it safe. So there was no reason to predict Entei coming in. like, at all, because we have a dedicated switch in Hydreigon. And even if they decide to go Dragonite, which at this point we think they might be outraged just because they went for extreme speed versus Heracross in the beginning. But again, they could have done that just to avoid Tapu Koko switching in, but we wouldn't have done that anyway. So they go for Sacred Fire, trying to fish for a burn, as we can just Dark Pulse it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep trying to get a burn here. But again, this set is designed.
And as you can see here, this set can beat Entei. Unless they, even with crits, it's really hard for Entei to beat down Hydreigon.
Exactly. So at this is another one of our interesting plays. So they actually extreme speed here, which basically confirms to us that they are probably outrage. So,
yeah.
So we go for Dark Pulse instead, Taunt. We figured they might predict us to pull something like that again. All we really need on is damage from this. So Metagross, right? We designed Metagross to be able to take on +1 Earthquake. So we figured that if we could get off at least 2 hits versus this thing, we can win with Metagross. Or Tapu Koko if we need to. So they go for E-Speed again. And
yeah, they also have to fear the taunt, so it's like a 50-50 for them each time they go for E-Speed.
They should have run Inner Focus just for this scenario.
But just in case they did Dragon Dance, the only way they would be able to beat us if they crit E-Speed on against our Coco. But I think our 2 Dark Pulses put their Dragonite in range of Banded Bullet Punch. But just in case that they somehow that didn't work and they killed Metagross, it was a roll for them for +2 E-Speed to kill Tapu Koko after rocks, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And based on the damage Entei was doing to Hydreigon, we know it's banded. So they can't lock themselves into any one move that'll beat us, basically. So Hydreigon is pretty much free to finish the game pretty nicely.
Putting in a lot of work. The taunt mind games really helped versus Dragonite because our safe play was the taunt, but they didn't know. I guess they could have calced that we're banded, but going for Dragon Dance was always a risk for them, and it's hard for them to try and kill Hydreigon because they're outraged. Because then after Coco just comes out and cleans up the game.
Yeah, and again, they didn't know what Coco set we were, so they didn't know how threatening it was. Because it's our Zmon, it could have been like Gigavolt Havoc, and they could have just demolished things. Yeah, GG to the Fini Phire, and we make it on to semifinals. And
yeah, I think maybe their only way to win is Dragon Dancing once on our Dark Pulse. Maybe going for an E-Speed crit on Hydreigon, and then E-Speed critting Tapu Koko, and then our Metagross wouldn't be able to beat Entei and Dragonite together.
Yeah, so basically the only way they could have won that was through a crit or some kind of hacks. But still, good game to them regardless. That HP flying Klefki really caught us off guard. Dragonite kind of caught us off guard as well because it had extreme speed. So it didn't reflect Tapu Fini, but that kind of worked out in our favor. Anything to add?
Snorlax putting the team on its back. Hydreigon finally doing something in games. Kind of been just there in other games or not on the team at all.
It's a good change of pace. Better than sacking it like Gator.
Yep. Gator's yet to do anything. Got a trash mon.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, stay tuned for our semifinal match.